Alright, let's see if I can't wing another one here. And we will talk about investments and analyzing whether or not it's really worth it. So the topic that came up last night, the topic of discussion here, you can apply this to anything, by the way, but the example we're going to use was we're considering buying a milking machine for the goat. And that sounds like a great idea. You know, it'll let you basically milk the goats while you're, feeding or watering or whatever. The problem with buying it right now is that we only are milking 2 goats. So the way that I see this anyway is the time that you would save by being able to do other chores while the goat is getting milked would be more than consumed by the time you would now spend servicing and maintaining the machine. I think that's a pretty easy connection to make. And so that's what I told my wife. She said, man, it'd be nice to get a milking machine. I said, well, yeah, it will be eventually. I don't know the magic number. I've not looked up the magic number or, the break-even number, whatever it is. The problem is these milking machines, they're like $700, $600 or $700 all in. So that's not a cheap little thing to, just throw $50 at it and see if it works. You need to do a little bit of, figuring or analysis before just jumping on it. So I'm thinking, I timed last night. I timed myself doing the chores. Evening chores always take us longer because we put out fresh water in the evenings. I think we usually hay them in the mornings. But anyway, evening chores usually take longer. The kids are out there helping. So I timed myself, and I didn't run. I didn't race it. I just timed myself normal. And it took me 18 minutes. So that includes time to stand there with a hose, fill a bucket. That was time to let my daughter try to milk the goat for a minute or two while she experimented. I just waited, and then I actually milked the goat. So 18 minutes. I think that would set me at a pretty easy target to do it in 15 minutes right now. That's with 10 goats. That's feeding the 6 juniors, the pregnant twins, feeding the milkers, and then also milking, putting out water, and doing it. And that was me by myself. My wife didn't come down and help last night. So yeah, the kids were there, they helped, but like I said, they make it take longer. Not complaining, it's just a fact. So I figure a good target goal is to be able to do it in 15 minutes at our current set. And then if we start milking more goats, then we're going to have to add on some incremental of, 3 minutes per goat or something like that if you're, for each one that you're milking. So the goal right now is 15 minutes per chore time. That's twice a day. So 30 minutes a day is what we spend on the goats. But of that choring, like I said, if you go 15 minutes of that, right now, realistically, probably only 5 of it is milking the goat, is actually milking the goats. The rest of it is walking down there, filling buckets, putting out feed, like I said. So that milk machine for $700, it has to be able to, it's only going to save you 5 minutes essentially. For sure, you're going to spend more than 5 minutes just setting it up, cleaning it, taking care of it. I mean, like I said, I haven't confirmed that. I'm just suspecting it's definitely going to take longer than that. And this is where you get into like scaling a business, right? Is we're thinking we want to grow the operation. We want to start milking more goats, but not a ton. We don't want to get up to where we got, 50 or 100 goats. We don't even want to get close to that. We're talking maybe be milking 6 or 7 at a time. At which point, I think probably getting the milking machine is probably still a stretch, but I would do it just for the sake of simplicity, just so it's a little bit easier to take care of everything else. But right now, what I want to get at is right now the investment doesn't make sense. So I just wanted to cover that, like I said, as an easy example topic. I think I've told you guys before, I look at everything I try to look at everything I'm thinking about buying, everything I'm thinking about doing. I try to look at it as an investment. I try to think about it not just in terms of, the money it could save or the money that it costs, but you always have to consider your time. Always have to consider the time. And so in this particular case, I just don't see a time advantage at all. You might even lose time. It might take you longer than I think to actually set up and clean and maintain this thing. So you might actually lose time. And so if you're losing time, that's the way this machine pays for itself, right? Is by saving you time. So you have more time to go and do something else that's also a revenue earner or is more valuable, time well spent, so to speak. So if it's not saving you time, it just costs you money, there's absolutely no reason to do it unless you just got really weak hands and you just can't stand to milk that many goats. But you know, the more you milk, the stronger you get. So we can fix that. Just milk more goats and you'll get better at it. So anyway, like I said, it's, you know, I try to analyze anything and everything, and the biggest thing to me is the time. You know, 4 little kids and a full-time job and everything else we got going on, time is absolutely money. So if it doesn't save me time and it costs me money, I'm not even interested, you know. So that's the easy example there. Looking at the milk machine, you guys can analyze this for anything and everything in your day-to-day life, whether or not it's worth it. That's the one I wanted to cover just because it was on my mind. Y'all maybe say in the comments down below what you're thinking about buying. Maybe think about, you know, you can comment on what's an analysis that you did. We'll all share it around and maybe see. Maybe some of you guys out there are thinking about the same thing and you can help each other out. So comment below. Let me know what you're thinking about analyzing. And who knows, maybe I've already analyzed that too. Oh, and just like everybody else says, after you've posted your comment, don't forget to click that little red button down here somewhere. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content. If you don't like the content, hey, maybe instead of a thumbs down, maybe a real comment on something you'd like to see. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see. I'm happy to talk about whatever you think you want to learn about. Comment, like, subscribe.